Hi everybody, this is Sherry Simmons. I am from New York City and I'm a book coach, author, ghostwriter, and speaker. And I'm just on Instagram to, you know, well, first of all, to be nosy and see who's here. But other than that, talk about my business, see who's on, answer any questions about anyone I might have. Hi, natural mixologist. How are you? What do you do? That's very interesting. What do you mix? I'm very curious. I'm about to ask you too. Natural mixologist. What do you do? That's very interesting. I like when people have interesting names or interesting profile names because I'm really curious. Like, what are you mixing? No? You don't wanna? So, can I? So, anyway, I'm a book coach, and what a book coach is the person that like serves as a mentor or a guide to get people from point A to B in writing their books. Because I speak to a lot of people, and the first thing they say is, I want to write a book, but I don't know how. So, the hows, do you do this? And the book writing expertise is mine, and I just lend a hand to get you to do what you set out to do. So, I am the published author of 6 books, and I was a ghostwriter for one, which is doing very well. It's going to be selling in a prestigious university in New York City. And I am currently finished with book. I live in New York City, so excuse the sirens and horns, and this is, yeah. So for people who don't live in the city, and yeah, you don't get to hear all this. This is all night long. This is not just now. So I just finished book 1 of a 3-part series called Divine Assignment. So if you've been following me, then you know that Divine Assignment is a spiritual self-help book. And I'm on a real spiritual journey now, trying to figure out not just who I am, because I have a strong feeling of who I am. I'm trying to figure out who am I, and trying to dig deep into spirituality and, following the Bible and figuring out my place in the world spiritually. And basically, spiritually, I'm trying to be a better person. So I was a part of a church, and I guess it was just for habit. Like, we do things out of habit. We go to school because our parents say, oh, go to school. So I was just going to church because it was just say, oh, come to church. But in 17 years, I learned absolutely nothing. And not to say that I learned, I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to say I learned absolutely nothing. I learned a couple of Bible verses. I learned a couple of Bible stories. I learned a slew of gospel songs, and I know that I love gospel music, and I know and that I believe in the God, and I know there is a God. But when I say I didn't learn anything, I didn't learn the depths of the Bible verse. So John 3:16, most people know. So God gave His only begotten Son. So what does that mean? It's so much more than God saying, well, I'm sacrificing my son. It's why did He do that? Like, the story of Jesus' birth, Christmas, there's so much more to that. And I'm learning. I recently just joined a new church, and I'm learning that there's so much more to these Bible stories. And actually, even though the Bible was written a long time ago, all of those stories still apply to real life. Like, we could literally take a book or even one little scripture and apply it to real life. So In divine assignment, I talk about domestic violence relationships, and I talk about marriage. So, in talking about being married, there's a scripture in the Bible in Genesis. There, God says to Adam, I will find a helper suitable for you. So, the version that I'm using is I use the Good News version. That's what I use for the book. But I read the New International Version. So they mean the same thing, but they say different things. So basically, God says to Adam, I will find you a suitable helper, a suitable mate. So what that means to me, digging deeper into it, is that when we looking for mates, and I'm not talking about a mate as in a boyfriend or girlfriend, I'm talking about a wife or a husband. The person that you're marrying should be is suitable in God's sight, not ours. So yes, those are most of us. We just oh, he looks good, she looks good, he got this, she got this. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I need, and then boom, bam, we get married. That's not what he meant in that. If we would actually sit there and wait and for God to bring us a suitable person, then there wouldn't be a high divorce rate. But a lot of people, they either don't believe in God, or a lot of people just have these ill intentions of marrying people for many multiple different reasons. So anyway, yes, so that's what I do in divine assignment. Take certain scriptures and relate them to my life and my spiritual journey. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about that and see who was on. So have a good night, everybody.